It's PS Plus Extra and Premium time yet again. The mid-month update has been spread around a little this time, with many games already in your collection, and of course the ones yet to land, which will be downloadable from Tuesday, June 18th. Today's video is sponsored by WD Black and their official PS5 SSDs, perfect for storing up to 100 games. I'll tell you more about that a little later. Right now, let's get over to the PS Plus Extra tier. Monster Hunter Rise is first up on both PS4 and PS5. This action RPG began life as a Switch exclusive before coming to other consoles in 2023. Our job is to track down beasts before planning and executing the perfect hunt, to then use the monster's hide and other assets to create new weapons and new armor sets, and that becomes the gameplay loop. In we go again to fight the next monster. Rise can be played alone, but the real appeal is teaming up in a team of 4 to hunt down the bigger enemies. There's 14 weapons to master, ranging from swords to bows, from guns to oversized hammers, each changing the playstyle and the rhythm of a hunt. Monster Hunter Rise has a PS5 review rating of 87%, making it officially brilliant. If you'd like something more methodical, try your hand at being a football manager, planning formations, managing players, constructing training sessions, and trying to spot precocious talents across the world. It's not all stats and emails here, as the highlights of each game are viewable, and of course we can take part in the celebrations after winning the Premier League. I support Newcastle, by the way. I have no idea what winning a real trophy feels like. A quick note, Football Manager 2024 is only on PS5, which I got to admit surprised me a little. A game returning to the catalogue this month is Far Cry 4. The first-person open world of Kyrat will always be remembered for one of the greatest bad guys in video game history, Pagan Min. The fictional dictator can be friend or foe, it's all up to you. Average review score, 85%. Another Ubisoft game this month is Anno 1800, a real-time strategy and city-building game, and as the name suggests, it's the dawn of the 19th century. Reviewers tell us this is a great game with an average score of 83%. On the other side of the spectrum is Police Simulator Patrol Officers. Live out your dream, I'm sure, of being an American police officer. Starting with parking violations and evolving into DUIs and breathalyzing NPCs. The overall purpose is to protect and serve your neighborhood. Be warned, Police Simulator is renowned for being extremely buggy with an average review score of 60%. I kinda wanna try it. If you're looking for a middle-aged RPG, then Crusader Kings 3 may be the one for you. We slowly unveil stories of fragile alliances in the land, manipulating characters to do our bidding. The overall goal is to unite the lands and have a single sovereign ruler. You'll be micromanaging forces and armies while simultaneously opening dialogue to keep the peace. It's very niche, but also very much loved by critics, 85% on Metacritic. This month's racing game is Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 6. We've had a few of these over the years, and the concept remains the same. Perfect riding on dirt to win the championship. A single-player action game worth noting is After Us. We play as a spirit whose mission is to bring peace to the world and find all the extinct creatures and animals. It's very somber and thought-provoking and will make you feel guilty, and has an average review score of 60%. This month we have 3 LEGO games in the catalogue: The Hobbit, The Incredibles, and LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. 2 of those 3 games follow the plot of their books or movies and let us play out iconic moments, whereas Marvel Superheroes 2 unleashes us in an open world with hundreds of characters to choose from, and mix and match them like Thor and She-Hulk. Some people love LEGO games, others find them tedious. I think both opinions are correct. So, the PS5 doesn't have the greatest internal storage for games, leading to many of us being forced to delete one before we download a new one, especially with the games catalogue. Over the years, I've been using an SSD from WD Black, and they have kindly sponsored this video with their SN850p NVMe SSD. WD Black's officially licensed SSDs can add up to 1, 2, or 4 terabytes to your PS5 storage, about 100 games in total. There's an extra here too. The SSD comes with a 14-day trial of PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe, if you ever wanted to try that tier of the service, and all with a 5-year warranty too. Thanks to WD Black for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to the games. There are in fact a bunch of games already in your catalogue from earlier this month. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the legendary 2004 game, has been kinda upgraded to PS4 and PS5. I say kinda because the updated port wasn't great at launch, but I'm hopeful the issues have now been ironed out. We play as CJ, who returns to his gang and helps grow their territory, completing criminal shenanigans. Away from that, we can go to the gym, overeat fast food, and meet girls. It's good practice for real life. GTA San Andreas was given perfect 10 scores back in 2004. A hugely underrated game you should look at is Dredge, a fishing game. Dredge gives us a small boat and sends us off into the world. Our job is to catch sea life, but they aren't all mundane little swimmers. Many are actually Lovecraftian monsters with special abilities. And some can only be caught at night, which also happens to be the most terrifying part of the game, as an unknown beast searches for our tiny vessel. Average review score 82%. And there's a sports game in your locker right now. It's Cricket 24, featuring 200 real player stats and likenesses, and supporting tournaments like the Big Bash and the Ashes, which is a tiny urn fought over by England and Australia every 2 years. Even the biggest of cricket fans will struggle to defend this game, as the average score is 4.5 out of 10. I'm totally going to play it. It's the part of the video where games are removed from your collection, and in 7 days, say goodbye to Grand Theft Auto 5. Michael, Trevor and Franklin are going back into hibernation as GTA 6 hype slowly builds. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is going away with its ridiculously long title, and so is Slime Rancher. Also going is Baja Edge of Control, Brothers A Tale of Two Sons, DC League of Super Pets, Dodgeball Academia, Indivisible, Monster Jam Steel Titans, MotoGP 23, The Wild at Heart, and Unturned. Oh, and the Talos Principle Deluxe Edition is going too. On June 18th, all those games will become locked. Now over to the premium tier of PlayStation Plus, and I can't believe I'm saying this, value has finally been added, with PSVR 2 and PS2 games with trophy support as well. The PS2 games are Lara Croft Tomb Raider Legend from 2006, in which Miss Croft tracks down the mythical sword of Excalibur. Back then, this was a reboot of sorts that tried to encapsulate the 90s games. There's lots of puzzles, there's even more combat, and Lara has once again perfected the handstand climb. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus is also here from 2002, Sucker Punch's much-loved action platformer that began the iconic series. Sly inherits an ancient book and becomes a master thief. And here's another on PS2, Star Wars The Clone Wars, a retelling of the movie which diverts from that as much as possible. Primarily this is a vehicle-based game with lots of tanks and ships firing lasers, but there are some lightsaber in-hand moments and some pretty good cutscenes too. One more PS2 title drops on June 18th. That's Ghost Hunter, the third-person shooter in which we follow a poltergeist into ever-increasingly scary places. Ghost Hunter was one of the first games to have a false ending, faking out players before bringing them back from death. It was low-key brilliant at the time. Over on PSVR 2, we have 6 games ready for you to play right now. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners has us slaying walkers with firearms and melee weapons, just like the TV show. And this version of Saints and Sinners includes both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of the story. It's a narrative-driven adventure in which we decide who we help and who we ignore. It was pretty good on the OG PSVR, and now it's been enhanced and improved, and has even more weapons and quests on PSVR 2. If you've ever wanted to be a Ghostbuster, you can. In Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, we team up with other real-life players and rid San Francisco of apparitions, even crossing the Golden Gate Bridge. Our backpacks and stats are upgraded via completing missions and spending tokens for successful missions. Also added is Synth Riders, a rhythm game in the same vein as Beat Saber. We dance around like nobody's watching, contorting our bodies to fit the on-screen prompts, getting very sweaty in the process. If that's too energetic for you, try Walkabout Mini Golf. As the name suggests, this is a putting game with many obstacles to overcome before sinking that golf ball into the hole. Walkabout was praised for its realism, which is a good thing, because there's 144 holes to play through here. I hope you like golf. And one more VR game. This is Before Your Eyes. We are sent into the memories of a recently unalived person to judge their life, alongside a giant rat, reliving elements of their childhood all the way up to their final days. In fact, another VR game was added to the list, Kayak VR Mirage. Just a person in their kayak enjoying paddling around the world, with both competitive timing-based challenges or just a chill time trying to hit penguins with an oar. Or maybe that was just me. And finally, 2 PSP games are coming to Premium and Deluxe, Daxter and LEGO Star Wars 2, the OG trilogy. Okay, I'm sure you're sick of my voice. It's been a pleasure. I'm Adam, you're awesome. See you next time.